to a new week on Tesla Shorts Time, Daily, episode 504. It's June 8th, 2026, and I'm Patrick in Vancouver. Here's what's kicking off the week in Tesla land. China's sales numbers came in stronger than expected last month, and the rebound tells us something useful about where demand actually stands after those two earlier dips. Retail sales rose 22.53% year over year, landing at 47,281 vehicles. That rebound follows 2 straight months of declines, so the direction matters more than any single headline. Exports from Giga Shanghai jumped even more sharply, climbing 67.73% to 38,701 units. The plant keeps serving both the domestic market and global orders at the same time, which gives it a bit more flexibility than a single-purpose facility. The next clear checkpoint will be the June wholesale figures due in early July, and those will show whether the May improvement holds or turns out to be a one-month bounce. That sales recovery lines up with fresh moves from 2 large investors who appear to be reading the same signals. Chinese investor Duan Yongping added 3,408,900 shares through his firm H&H International Investment. He picked them up at an average price of $371.75, bringing his total position to roughly $1.27 billion. The stake now represents 6.34% of the firm's portfolio and sits as its 5th largest holding. What stands out is that Duan had been skeptical earlier, but shifted after testing full self-driving himself and calling the technology truly remarkable. That personal experience translated into a sizable commitment, and the move gives some concrete institutional weight to Tesla's autonomy direction at a moment when the company is leaning harder on that story. Another big institution made a comparable turn in the same period. Goldman Sachs added 1,980,000 shares during the first quarter after having sold $1.4 billion worth of Tesla stock late last year. The net result was a $735.6 million inflow, lifting the bank's holding to 29.4 million shares, valued at $10.93 billion. Goldman is also acting as lead underwriter for the upcoming SpaceX IPO, so the two positions sit alongside each other inside the same firm. The reversal itself marks a noticeable shift in how at least one major bank is positioning around Tesla right now. While those investor moves were unfolding, another set of numbers came out that looks at the vehicles themselves rather than monthly deliveries. An IC car study of 174 million vehicles found that Tesla models carry a 4.6% chance of reaching 250,000 miles. That sits just below the industry average of 4.8%, and the brand ties for 6th place overall, ahead of BMW, Porsche, and Subaru. The study tracks actual high-mileage survival instead of warranty claims, which gives it a different kind of usefulness. This is the first substantial public look at longevity since the last major update in episode 482. Tesla's vertical integration of motors, inverters, and battery packs lets the company keep refining thermal management and software calibration in ways that outside suppliers typically cannot match. Over time, those ongoing tweaks could stretch the longevity advantage across newer model years, which in turn could shift the economics of fleet ownership and the used vehicle market in ways the show has been tracking. On the hardware side, production is finally moving toward a broader set of buyers. Tesla will begin base Cybertruck deliveries in the second half of June, starting with the entry-level all-wheel drive version. Higher trim models have taken most of the production slots since launch, so this step widens the customer pool without changing the pricing or range figures already announced. Fleet allocation details for the base version have not been released yet. The timing connects directly to the volume questions that have lingered around the Cybertruck program since the last update in episode 478, and the next few months should show how quickly the lower trim ramp actually scales. Software features have been moving in a different direction at the same time. Tesla is now shipping camp mode as a standard feature on every new vehicle, enabled right out of the box with no extra cost or configuration step. Owners can run climate control, lights, and media while the vehicle is parked for longer stretches, and the change removes any earlier paywall. The company marked the update with a simple camping emoji post. It is a small but tangible shift in how the software reaches customers without added friction. Not every recent development has been as straightforward for buyers. Reports indicate Tesla updated full self-driving purchase contracts while litigation over autopilot and full self-driving marketing claims was already active. Buyers who purchased before 2024 found that the original agreements now link to pages that include the word supervised. Tesla has not commented on those alterations. The timing adds another layer to questions about contract consistency, just as the company is highlighting full self-driving safety data in other contexts. Before we wrap, the June wholesale numbers due in early July will give the next clear read on whether China demand is settling into a steadier recovery. That's the picture for today. TSLA closed at $402.68, up $11.68, 3%. If this episode helped clarify anything, a rating or review on Apple Podcasts or Spotify makes it easier for others to find the show. You can also keep up with updates on X at Tesla Shorts Time. I'm Patrick in Vancouver. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you tomorrow. This show is part of the NARA Network, a family of daily podcasts covering tech, science, markets, and more. If today's rundown left you curious about how plans sometimes turn out differently than intended, give Unintended Consequences a listen for true stories of good intentions that backfired. You can find the full lineup at naranetwork.com. This episode used AI voice synthesis of my voice. Editorial selection and analysis are my own.